That was a good old-fashioned Texas ass kicking that Texas Tech handed to BYU. And we really got to start asking the question, is Texas Tech the third best team in college football? What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, hit that subscribe button, like this video, answer the question in the comments below. Is Texas Tech the third best team in all of college football? I ask this question sincerely as the SEC championship game is kicking off after the Big 12 championship, in which Texas Tech demolished BYU. It was really clinical. They were able to not only withstand BYU's best drive, which was his opening drive, went 90 yards down the field and got a TD. The first time that anybody all year had scored on Texas Tech in an opening drive. Let's put that in the SEC bucket. If this was Bama, we'd be talking about Bama not just as the third team, but perhaps the number one team, depending on how you view the Big Ten championship, or even the number two team, right? We're going to think that not even a one-loss Bama with Nick Saban would outrank an undefeated Big Ten champion. I don't think that's on the table, but number two for certain. And you know what? We still might be. Is it better than the SEC champion or the Big 10 runner-up? It's actually more apt when we're talking about this, so I'm not just picking on the SEC. But the reason I'm talking about the SEC is up until the last 2 years, this had been a sport that has been dominated by that league. And even now, we're looking at not just Alabama and Georgia getting into the playoff, but also Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, maybe Vanderbilt, depending on how you view Notre Dame and Miami. But I can't say enough good things about what this Tech program has been able to do in the modern age of college football. One of my deep criticisms of the sport is how many of y'all are whining about it. I don't just mean the people that got jobs like me. And there are a lot of people that get to talk into a microphone in front of a national audience that want to decree and whine about name, image, and likeness, about the desecration of the regular season, the extension of the college football playoff being all bad. And I say to that, you must be old and you must have a lot of money and you must not want to adapt and change with this sport. I'm not. I didn't get all this way in this sport doing this job just so I could bitch, moan, and complain because it ain't being played like it was when I was in high school. We pay players now. We extend the college football playoff. We have a transfer portal that is active. Kids go in, they don't always get out. Jeff Choate was crashing out, talking about what happens when you come to Nevada. You get paid $1.4 million to go to Oregon. Yeah, you do. And Texas Tech looked around and said, well, if Ohio State can pay $20 million to its roster, why the hell can't we? And that's it. So now you're looking at Texas Tech, who has won an outright conference title for the first time since 1955, go 12-1, and put up the kind of numbers that only 2013 Florida State and 2018 Bama have in the last 20 years. They are destroying people. They are beating people by 20 points or more. The game they lost did not have their starting quarterback in Baron Morton. I'll also add to this, that was the argument that Kenny Dillingham was making last year when Arizona State was on the bubble, not necessarily going to get in as the Big 12 champion. They ended up doing that, but they lost to a Cincinnati team when Sam Leavitt was on the shelf. That seems to matter at a place like Texas Tech. But as good as the offense is, and it is good, I'm going to remind you, Baron Morton played well today. Over 200 yards passing, 2 TDs, 2 sacks, but also didn't throw the ball to other people. Jacoby Williams and Cam Dickey doing everything that they need to do. They're averaging better than 4 yards per carry. Jacoby Williams also 15 rushes for over 5 yards per carry to end this thing. Coy Aiken out there doing his daddy proud, just rodeoing in the end zone where we're going. Even Joe McGuire's like, what the hell are we looking at? Just give us a touchdown. Let's keep it moving. Then you got to see Reggie Virgil come on with 8 catches, 86 yards. But more importantly, it's the defense. Like, Jacob Rodriguez is everybody's favorite defender of the day. Won the Buckets Award last night, showed up in a big way today. Ben Roberts also showed up in a big way today. By the end of the broadcast, you're hearing Joe Tess and Jesse refer to that group as the mustache guys. And I'm like, okay, if that's what we got to do. But, in a different world, we might be talking about Texas Tech as being just another team. But as they were not just good offensively, 8 of 18, we're talking about a defense that is SEC caliber. That defense is as good as Oklahoma's defense. Oklahoma's defense carried it through the rest of this season. Like, it got started with John Mateer and Ben Arbuckle. Then it hit SEC competition. And what needed to happen was the defense needed to come up with takeaways and need to go score points. And we're talking about 4 turnovers of BYU by this Texas Tech defense. We're talking about getting after them with tackles for losses. We're talking about limiting this offense to just over 200 yards. We're talking about allowing just 63 rush yards and sacking the quarterback twice. That front 7 is elite. They are very, very good. And anybody that wants to try to run the football on them is going to deal with some active hands and some guys that can run to the football. I think this is also a real love letter to Joey McGuire, who is beloved in Texas. He is already in the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame. The way that people would talk about Art Briles is the way that you should talk about Joey McGuire, and he's earned it. Joey McGuire is an outstanding person. He's an outstanding guy. He opens his program to media. He opens his program to alumni. He wants all the smoke. The Patrick Mahomes jerseys were outstanding. And then he's in lock sync with Cody Campbell, who's this Biggie's booster and the chairman of the board of trustees at Texas Tech, who's trying to change the way in which we watch college sports by overhauling the Sports Broadcasting Act. I think that's a really difficult hill to climb. And I'm talking about something with like 20% incline on this, because there are a lot of people that do not want that to happen. But if it did, you see a lot more women's sports, you see a lot more Olympic sports on television. But he has sold his company in May and almost certainly said Texas Tech football is about to get a lot better. Sold it for about $4 billion. I mean, if you're watching Landman, you're probably watching Cody Campbell. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the kind of guy that a lot of people in Texas want to root for, and he loves college football as much as anybody. I haven't played at Texas Tech and wants to see Texas Tech win a national championship. And for years, we would say about Texas Tech, they can't win 9 games and they can't win a conference championship, and they would be recruited against with that. And they set out to change that by adding Romello Height, adding David Bailey. Quentin Joyner was supposed to be the bell cow back, and he got hurt really early, and they still were able to do this. The thing that I think is more impressive than anything else that Texas Tech has done all year for me is just how deep they are. They are stacked with their 2 deep, and only the SEC has been able to do that in recent years. And we also know that you don't win national championships with an outstanding offense. You can, but it's really not a recipe that works. I mean, it worked for Auburn, who had Cam Newton, who I still think is the best college football player of all time. And it worked for LSU, who had a Heisman Trophy quarterback, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Terrace Marshall, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Could not be stopped. But even then, David Aranda's defense was not great. It was still top 20, right? This is a team that has built itself on balance, and Shield Wood has been probably put his name to the front of the line for the Broyles Award with this performance today. It was in front of a lot of people. It counted. It counted for a lot of people that otherwise wouldn't. I'm going to be doing some moving and shaking in my rankings based on a conference championship game, and I don't mind saying it. You win a conference championship, that means more to me. You're also playing a ranked opponent, period, unless you're Virginia playing Duke, in which case we'll see. But for now, I think, Texas Tech has proven to me they're good enough to be the 3rd team in the 3rd seed here. Now, if they're the 4th seed, they'll get what we think is the 8-9 matchup. Right now, it's Oklahoma hosting Alabama, which, by the way, would be amazing. I would really love that. I would very much enjoy that to happen. But if it means that Alabama has to get knocked out by Georgia, fine. But I don't think they're going to stand pat if they beat. If Alabama loses to Georgia, I think that 9 spot might go to Miami. It might go to Vanderbilt. It might go to Notre Dame. I don't see the SEC runner-up if it's Bama getting into this thing. I think it only stands put if Bama can beat Georgia once again. But would you want to put Georgia in there with 2 losses to the same team? I don't think so. That's me, though. The Red Raiders, though, are one of the best teams in all of college football. And if you don't know, now you know. Glory, glory. Some of y'all understood that Kirk Franklin reference. Some of y'all need to go to church. You know who you are. You know who you are. You ain't got to testify to me. Testify to somebody else. I'm good.